hi, we are here with Ines. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm great. You look gorgeous. You look great.
Thank you. So do you, as always.
It's makeup. It's makeup. Thank God with
Yeah, you
these
gave me a
videos.
reason to put some makeup on.
Well, you look great. You look great. Where are you now? Where are you staying now?
Thank God I am at home and not stuck somewhere else. So I'm in Germany, in the north of Germany, about 60 kilometers from Hanover.
Okay. Are you how are you? Are you in an apartment? Are you in a house? What's the situation?
It's a multi-family house which is owned by my family.
Okay.
So I live here and my parents live here as well, which is so good because I can make sure I don't leave the house. They already hate me by now because I put even more restrictions on them than the government. So, well, I mean, they say, we can go shopping. No, you can't. We have a mask. Nice, but you're still not going to the store. So they give me the list once a week, and I try to limit my excursions out there as well. Um, because even for the smarter people, or for the people who believe they're a little bit smart, at least in business, I try to go out as less as possible, only if I really have to. So we make lists for a week, and I work with a lot of frozen vegetables because usually I buy, fresh every day or every second day, but I try to avoid that.
That's
But
good.
as we know, frozen vegetables have a lot of vitamins too.
They do. So have you noticed you spending less or more in this quarantine?
um, I'm spending definitely less. That's for sure, because I have a dedicated list when I go to the store, so I don't, oh, here and there and here and there. Obviously, all the other stores are closed in Germany, so no shoe buying or, clothing or whatever, you buy which you didn't anticipate, when you walk through the city. These purchases are definitely down. Um, I spent a little bit more online, obviously, than usual, but under the line, as below the line, still a lot less, right? I mean, I bought a lot of fabric because I'm donating and making, I'm a sewing person now. I'm making masks and donate them to certain facilities. I bought myself a Nintendo Switch
Okay.
because the PlayStation is not enough anymore. Um, but that's about it. Toilet paper is available back in stores,
Was it was
so I
it
don't
was
have
it
to order it
ever
online.
did you ever have problems in Germany with toilet paper, or was
Oh
this
yes, yes,
really?
yes. People are just, I don't know. I don't know why the first thought, if something like this happens, is about, toilet paper. If everyone, because nobody was going to close, grocery stores. I mean, if that rumor would have been there, then I would understand that people, stock up on certain things. But toilet paper still doesn't make sense to me.
It does. It makes no sense. People are weird. Let's say that.
Yeah.
So Ines,
I
how?
had to actually bring some of mine to my daughter's house. She is, she's a single mother. She
Mm-hmm.
works in healthcare on top of everything.
Oh,
She
God
has
bless.
no daycare for the kids and no toilet paper. So, but now it is, I think yesterday I read an article that it's now everywhere back in store.
Yeah. As far as I know, and I've been talking to like people from other countries, yeah, this is the situation. So we're good now. We're good. I
We could
know
on toilet
you.
paper.
I know
Sorry?
you. I know you. I know what you do. But for the people that don't know you, would you introduce yourself and what you're doing?
Yes, sure. So I'm Ines, obviously. You already said that. I've been working in the e-commerce business for, oh God, I always say 20 years, but I'm getting older, so now it's even more than 20 years. Um, I started in traffic and conversions and building programs, etc. At some point, I moved more into the billing part of everything. So that's why some people consider me now very knowledgeable in the payment area. And I'm working independently, but and Ines Queen, the other Ines, will love that I say that. It's like 99.9% of my time goes into the wonderful company of 2000Charge, because that's also where my expertise is, to help people converting European consumers with local payment methods.
Okay.
It comes to my help a little bit that I used to live in the United States as well for 15 years, so I know both, vice versa. So I can help people get across the ocean in either way, direction,
That's good.
even if it's just, not physical right now.
That's true. That's true. Unfortunately, with the border closed. Tell me a bit more about 2000 Charge.
2000Charge is a payment provider. We provide local payment methods for, I have to lie, about 47 different countries. Specialized mainly because we are also our own bank, specialized in, for the European market, mostly in SEPA payments. And we are in the process of developing, a lot of cool tools for the future, because with the PSD2, I don't want to get too deep into that right now, but with the PSD2 licensing going on, you can do a lot more for the merchant security, but also for the consumer. And most of the people know, because I've been trying to educate them for so long already, that it's very, 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 very important to convert everyone. If you already have the traffic and they can't pay, so it's out of your existing traffic, and you don't offer the correct or the right and convenient, payment method, they will go away and do not purchase, right?
That's true. That's true.
So that's basically what we do. And we also see it as a, as a big, the whole, the whole 9 yards. It's not like we don't want to sell somebody like a payment method, or, we look at everything together, with the potential merchant, and say, hey, where's your traffic coming from? Here, I would do this. So we have the payment methods for sure in the back to provide them with.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So you're a full service basically.
Yes.
That's awesome. How did you work from home? Do you have an office? Is the office in Hamburg, or where is it? Hanover.
We have an office in Los Angeles and in Novi Sad. As I'm working independently, and I work a lot from my home office here, so I'm used to that. I travel quite often there, because even a video meeting is nice. It's still something different if you are at the office, can talk to people, you can brainstorm, you have your coffee breaks. The best business ideas usually come in the kitchen when you grab a coffee and talk to somebody from security, or from, from the dev team. And that's obviously something I'm deeply missing, right?
That's true.
As
How
well.
about how many people are in the company all around?
God, I would have to lie, about 50, I would say.
So they're all
Spread over the
now
different offices.
So now everyone is working remote, right?
Yes, yes. So the Los Angeles obviously are working remote. The office in Serbia is closed. We have, I think, a handful of developers and security people who go in, but separately. So let's say on Monday it's one guy there, and then on Tuesday it's another guy there, to make sure, because for sure in payments everything is very important to keep it 24/7, and to provide the same continuous service as
Absolutely.
as we use when we are all at the offices, right?
But for you personally, like you do work from home, but what's changed with this lockdown and everything?
I see a positive change. because conversations take longer now. People you try, or when you set up meetings at the conferences. If I look back to the last conference was in Portugal. You have 10 minutes meetings, you have 15 minutes meetings maybe, and then you have your quick follow-up. But when I schedule meetings now, they last for an hour sometimes, because we talk about the situation, we talk about how it influences our industry or other any e-commerce, for a matter of fact, industries, and then where we see opportunities also. So it's not all negative, and I have to say it's almost 100% more in the positive. Find opportunities in
That's true.
in things. So that's a positive actually change, because people take time. And I question myself, because I had the same time before. I mean, the days didn't become longer. They feel longer, that's for sure. But now most of the people really take the time to have a qualified and a good conversation.
That's true. That's true. It's more bonding now, right? Because we're all
That
in the
too.
same thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. The quality and the from the business angle has raised, but also the bonding on a personal level, and get to know somebody, because I obviously love to do business with people I know personally, because that's also a part where you build trust and a good feeling about who do you work together, right?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
with.
This is the thing. As much as we talk through Skype, it's different when you actually see that person, or you get to know her better. That's true.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What changes have you seen in the company at 2000Charge due to coronavirus, if there have been any changes?
I mean, technically, we're up and running as fast as as usual, so nothing has really changed there. As I also work and lead with the sales team and the marketing, I see some set challenges for sure for people who are not used to work from home.
Mm-hmm.
That is, they're doing a great job, for their circumstances. But have moms with small kids at home. You have a husband next to you who is also working remotely from home, and some of them not struggle, but that would be maybe too tough to say or too hard to say. But they have definitely face challenges. Where I try to help with, personal conversations and giving them, because I have 4 grandchildren myself. I raised 5 kids, always been working as a single mom. So I have 1 or 2 tricks here, what to do with them, even though we've never been in a situation like that. Even I remember yesterday where I was actually experienced one thing when my oldest daughter was a toddler, when we had a Chernobyl happening.
A what?
Chernobyl.
Okay. Oh, Chernobyl,
You're too
yeah.
young for that. And I do remember that time. I mean, it's not comparable because I was in Germany, but we were not allowed to go outside with the kids playing on the playground. So they were all closed because it was, going to set in the sand, and so it was too dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And from that time, I did remember, well, I had that for a while, because they were not allowed to play anywhere on the ground.
How long did that lockdown last?
I don't remember really. Maybe it was for a couple. I mean, it wasn't really a lockdown
Mm-hmm.
in the sense we are experiencing now. It was just that the kids were not allowed to play outside on the playgrounds, in the parks, anything on the floor, and try to explain a toddler, oh, you can't get on the floor. That doesn't really work. But you could put them, in the carry thing and drive them around. So it was a very different situation, but it reminded me a little bit of what we're experiencing now.
So now the grandkids, how old are they?
They are 12. 2 are 9, and one will be 7. She will start hopefully school this year.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
How is it for them? How do they feel this? Because this is pretty disruptive. You know, when you're a kid, you're used to going to school or having your friends, and then no more.
It
How
it
do you see
totally
that?
is. I mean, also my family is very blessed. So they live in a both family. Also, my oldest daughters each have 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're both working in the healthcare business, so it's quite challenging for them too. But they both have a backyard where the kids can at least go outside and are not stuck, to an apartment even without a balcony or whatever. But it's still, very, very challenging. And I'm actually surprised how well they adapt in regards of the sanitary things. I'm always washing my hands anyways. Yeah, well, now you have to do it, a few times more. Um, or when I pick them up because my daughters are working and I have to take them to the doctor to get some whatever they need or whatever. And then, Grandma, you have to go a little bit further to the left because, otherwise we're too close to each other. And then they're sitting there with their little masks. So I assume these 4, when schools and child care, open back up, they're pretty good in trying to keep the distance. But it's also sad if you look at them, how they have to spend probably a year of their life. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I know that you told me you're doing masks now, but you told me before we started recording that you wanted to do something cool with your with the Converse thing with All Star. Tell me a bit about it.
Yeah, obviously, as I just said, 4 of my kids are working in the healthcare industry. They're working in facilities with the elderly, where they are not first priority, to get equipment. So I put my sewing machine back out, where I'm not really good at. There are by now a million patterns, so I tried, a couple of different patterns and ways, and I think now I mastered it and got my own pattern made.
Okay.
So it's easy to wear. It has layers enough, and you still can breathe. Which is really important. And as I said the other day on a Facebook post, most of the people in the industry know me with my Converse. I have, my red, my green, my yellow, my orange, my whatever, all colors. And then I started making the mask matching, my shoes. And then I realized I have a lot of fabric with stars on it. So I was like, maybe I should take Instagram pictures with, my red Converse and then the red mask with the stars on it. And maybe I get, like an Converse influencer contract. No, I'm kidding.
I guess
Nobody wants to look at an old grandma. But
you don't look
yeah,
like
so that's
a.
something I spend a lot of time with as well, and donating, as many masks as I can
That's great.
to the facilities in my area, or even mail them to the south of Germany.
That's great. That's really great from you. That's really
It
cool.
keeps your head off overthinking. As a Capricorn, you tend to overthink a lot.
Okay.
So I try to, stop my own brain from, I mean, it is what it is. You can be sad about it, and that's all human, and you should, have emotions as well. But at the end of the day, it's nothing I can change. So I go with it and try to make the best, whatever the best is, but to
Yes.
make the best out of it.
If we learned anything, is that we have no control upon anything but ourselves.
Exactly. And for me, it's kind of the second lesson of that, because 10 years ago, I had pretty bad cancer. So I survived that, and that gave me also another outlook on the world, what is really important. But people tend to forget after a while, and including myself. So this is another knock on my head.
Do you feel more grateful now that you're like starting to learn again, reborn again?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm always that is something I never lost. I'm always grateful for everything, I have, and try to share with others, and that's been, you know, even before the situation right now. Yeah,
That's
that
awesome.
will never change.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. Well, with all
So
these the with all
we
these,
always try to help people.
yeah, it's important. I think it's very important to help each other. What are your expectations for this show? Like for the first show that you'll go to this year, what are your expectations?
I mean, the shows will be very, very different because usually it's, you know me, and it's for you by now the same. You're also like old school in the industry by now. It takes us, you know, an hour to walk through the show floor, and, you know, until we have hacked everyone.
That's true.
That will definitely not happen in the close future, even if, you know, conferences will take place in whatever format, you know, they can provide. Um, the expectation is, I think, I mean, the same as usual. We want to do business. um, but I think by the time we will open again for a conference, we will know many people we didn't get to know before. We will already know from, you know, Skype or Zoom or whatever meetings before. So there might be even a lot more people we feel we know. But I don't see that coming for this year.
What do you think? What do you think we should all learn from this, if anything, from all the
I would
lockdown?
say we should learn from that what we should have learned even without that, you know, be kind to each other, try to find opportunities and make the best out of every, you know, situation, whether you're sick or whether you're, you know, losing money or whether whatever, I mean, negative things did happen before in, you know, one way or another, and becoming the best of ourselves. I think it's an ongoing challenge, and it's even more important maybe in these days, you know.
For the ones
That's
that
my passion.
for the ones that will see this, who do you want to reach out to? Like, what companies do you want to reach out to you so you can help them? What type of companies?
Anyone who has traffic, you know, in the European Union, and would like some help. You know, I'm as I said, I'm independently working. I'm not looking for customers right now. I mean, for sure, 2000Charge takes on merchants, and I can help you with that as well. But anyone, I'm here to help. So if you have experienced more traffic from the EU lately or whatever, and you want to, you know, you need help to, you know, to optimize it, whatever, get in touch with me. I will happily, you know, be there and help, with no charge.
With no charge. That's
Yes.
perfect. Thank you so much, Ines, for taking your time to
Thank
talk to
you,
us.
Andra.
Thank
It
you.
was really good seeing you. We should do that more frequently too.
We should have that happy hour.
Exactly. All
Thank you so much, Ines. Thank you, and have an
right. Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
thank you for
Stay safe.
stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.